Yes, sir. Sir have joined.
Okay, let's start.
Namaste, sir. Yeah, please start.
Okay. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. My name is Ritvik Sikka and I'm the youth marketing of the Eclectic MUN. First of all, I would like to congratulate each and every person for participating and being a part of this noble cause. The vision for this MUN was formed when on a bright sunny day, we realized how the pandemic was treating the humankind. And then there was nothing so bright or sunny about the day anymore. The minds behind Eclectic believed everyone was and is suffering due to the COVID 19 crisis. But then the people who were suffering already, even before the situation, were made to suffer even more. And that's how it came to our mind that the youth should deliberate and discuss about the poor and about the transgender community, as they had several problems on their plate already, and this crisis just added on to it and should help them rise. As the slogan for the MUN says, and I quote, "You rise by lifting others." So we formed a team with this very vision, joined hands with the Helping Hand, an NGO to which all the proceeds from this MUN will be transferred to. As a small organization, Team Eclectic tried to do their bit in helping the poor and the vulnerable. Two different committees, two different agendas, two different solutions, but several lives saved. We had the UNHRC discussing about the protection of human rights during the COVID-19 pandemic, with special emphasis on economically backward section of the society. And then we had the AIPPM discussing the rights of the transgender community in India with respect to the Transgender Persons Protection of Right Act 2019. Now, I would like to invite Chandraditya Rabha, the founder president of the Team Eclectic, to come forward to give a welcoming address to our chief guest, Mr. Robin Hebu. Over to you, Aditya.
Good evening and warm welcome to ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on the behalf of Team Eclectic, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our chief guest, Sri Robin Hebu Sir, Special Commissioner, Delhi Police, for sparing his valuable time for a valedictory function of Eclectic first edition of Eclectic MUN 2020. Sir, a warm welcome. I would like also to thank and welcome once again the Secretariat Board member, the delegates of the event, and the wonderful team of STC, without which this two-day event would not have been taken place. Our Team Eclectic is honored to have among us with the senior academicians from GT Goenka Public School, Dwarka, Ms. Sangeeta ma'am, Jyotika ma'am, and Sapna ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for always encouraging and guiding us for our endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged and honored to have among with us a very distinguished personality and decorated officer from Delhi Police, Sri Robin Hebu, Special Commissioner, Delhi Police, as a chief guest of this evening. Sir, before I request you to say a few words on this occasion, I feel it's my responsibility to share his brief biodata for all the audience present here. Sri Robin Hebu Sir is an IPS officer from 1993 batch and presently working in Delhi Police as Special Commissioner, which is at par, Additional Director General of Police rank. Sri Robin Hebuji is a decorated officer and have received prestigious President of India medal in the year 2010 and 2017. He has also received gold medal from Arunachal Pradesh government for meritorious services in 2003 and for his distinguished services in 2009. He has also served for United Nations and received medal for meritorious and distinguished services. The list of awards is so long that if I read and mention each of them, it would take at least 15 minutes, sir. His professional achievements are unparalleled and unmatched. However, I would like to mention a few of them. He has won the Best IPS Officer Award in 2019 and 2017, Global Mahatma Gandhi Award in 2019, Ambassador for Peace Award in 2018, Peacemaker Bravery Award in 2018. List is quite exhaustive and time is short. Above all, the whole India and especially the Northeast knows him for the social work he does for the community at large through his NGO, Helping Hands. The social work he does is beyond call of duty, which is unmatched and unparalleled. Sir, our team Eclectic is honored to be part of your mission to help the needy and who are in distress. Through this event, whatever small fund we will be generating, we would like to give this as a small token of contribution from our side, sir. And without any wait, I would like, I would request Robin Hebu, sir, to say a few words on this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I must say that India is really rising, and I must say that we are in the middle of the emergency crisis, not only in India, in all over the world. And this initiative, which I received from your organizer, I was really impressed because you know what we find as a policeman, and as a policeman, we hardly see, I would say, a student or community participating in this pandemic COVID-19 lockdown. So, and I believe this idea, the first of all, anything which initiative, something better for the society is always welcome. And I'm very happy that all of you are from, even from the abroad, you are participating in something which is very, very useful, something very, very pragmatic, which is something very, very promising for future. And you know, I must tell you, apart from these two subjects which you have, I'm sure you might have deliberated elaborately during the 2 days seminar with the, faculty members from the Goenka and other prestigious school. I believe this will go a long way, not only in understanding the problem of what we are facing, but also it will make you to aware what we all can do. And third, this occasion, this participation will make you a better citizen wherever you are. That this will make you more empathetic, individual. Because at the end of the day, tomorrow is yours. We are now in the middle of our life, so you have to take over. Whether anybody in the world, either in a business or in any field of our country and the world as a whole. So taking this background, I must congratulate you that, there are many of our youngsters these days in Delhi. They all are, most of them, I think they're spending in their own time in a different way. But this, I would say, intellectual exercise being done under Eclectic, under MOU, which you all have been doing, is something, it's really encouraging, touching, and something what really touched me more is that, you are you are raising your voice, you are trying to create an awareness, you are trying to do something for those section of our society who doesn't have a voice. And as you have seen, I need not go into the deep into the matter, what is happening all around. The labor, all those vulnerable sections, in spite of our best effort, somewhere or other there is a gap. And I'm happy that since your deliberation, as I was telling to your few of your members yesterday when they called me up for the preliminary meeting, I told them that apart from your deliberation, please make it a point-wise, I would say, suggestions. And since you all are youth, and since I work with the president also, please pen it down, send it to the PMO, send it to the President of India, send it to the Chief Justice of India, send it in back to all the High Court, so that this idea can be, which can, even in the Planning Commission, which will give us food for thought, because many of the idea, I believe, the youngsters these days have a better idea in many of the aspects. While we are planning for the nations, either in the President House or in the Rashtrapati Bhavan or in the PM or even in the NITI Aayog, many of the ideas, this is what we are looking out. We want something fresh idea from the youngsters like all of you. So this is something which I really not only admire, you must keep it up. Because at the end of the day, if a good people, if a consensus citizen, if you do not speak up, if you do not debate, if you do not discuss, if you do not suggest, then our democracy will be in peril. So it is a very, very vibrant, this robust exercise of not only participating but also taking initiative for the something for the beyond your family or beyond your own personal need. That is, I would say, pay back to the society. I know most of you are still yet to see your career in ahead, but this feeling of empathy, the feeling of fellow feeling, concern for the vulnerable section is something which I feel I belong to the IPS of the 1994 batch, but this empathy and this sympathy and this, I would say, the concern is, I think, in many times we are lacking. And I think wherever you are, whatever you do in life, if with this feeling in your heart, with this attitude, you will be happy, man and woman in future. You will be the worthy citizen of this world and of our country also. So that's the point what I want to make it. And regarding what I say, look, a policeman, as usual, this pandemic has been a challenge, not only for the policemen, it's for everybody. But why this is something very special to me. I feel in that way. I know problem is not only me and you and everybody. I look at this way. This is an opportunity for me to explore, to do something beyond the policing job. So what do we did? Because I believe this idea. If you want to shine in life, if you want to get happiness in your life, you need to come out of your box. You need to do something innovativeness. As a additional DG rank, I could also just fully relax in my house. No, I believe I belong to that part of the world from Northeast Arunachal Pradesh, where even we had no privilege of even water, even electricity. I had to walk 10 miles just to reach my school. So it is just saga of a struggle. Anyway, that's a different story. Apart from that, what I did, because I came from that long struggle saga from my that without basic things of life, I reached up to the president's house. So I saw our struggle of our people from there, even from here in Delhi. So I thought, why not do something beyond this uniform service? So I started debating myself. I started asking my well-wisher, our people, my fellow officers, even with the President of India. Then I thought, as a government servant, you have certain limitations. So I started this helping hand called NGO. This NGO, you must be wondering, there are so many helping hands, but our helping hand is a little bit different. This is a virtual NGO. I repeat, virtual NGO. Now, it works for three, what is called aim of this helping hand is, number one, distress assistance to all those people who have I would say, abandoned or left, or who have no one in the cities whenever they come down from Himalaya, either from Ladakh or Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, or wherever maybe. We chip in that gap where many a time, most of them, unfortunately, they are migrating to the cities. They are left to fend themselves either from criminal acts or from the what is called cruel employers, or from the other, what is called exploitations. So in that part, say, like giving an example, if somebody from Fogal, I'm living in live example from Chennai, she died, somehow we came into the picture, took the dead body, so on and so forth. So we do so many things. So one is distress ameliorative assistance for any coming down from Himalaya. Now we've extended to the Delhi, even to the mainland, our India also. Second is, we believe in this helping hand, the youth empowerment. And youth empowerment, we do it through the career guidance, like for IIT, for IIM, Indian Institute of Management, for the MBBS, and for any, from IIT. So we get a CSR fund. Even we started with our own contribution from among our members. And we look out for those promising boys and girls from hills who want to shine in life, but they have obstacle in life because of lack of, fund and the lack of opportunity. So we have a robust way of finding out, scouting such boys and girls, and we give them what is called scholarship. We mentor them. We give them a hope, bring them to city, then so that they can join a mainstream through their building a good career through a robust, I would say, through an education system, or which either in IIT or in MBBS. Third point, what we do is that we are creating an awareness about the emerging, what is called problem faced by the people from the hills in cities. Because many a time, Generally, people from the hills are more or less very naive, simple. They have no idea on the cities. For that, we do it called a, orientations. Know your Delhi, know your Mumbai, whatever, wherever they go. So we do that. Then these are the three pillars we do that. And now this pandemic has given us a huge opportunity for us, because even in NCR, I have around 8 to 9 lakhs population from the Himalayas. They are working in a 80% are working in a private sectors, unorganized private sectors. And most of them are, 60% are females from the hills. And we have so many cases, of course, in other normal time also, payment is not being given in time, discriminations, and many other issues which it is endemic now and then, so on and so forth. We deal them. That is apart from that. This time, because of pandemic lockdown, they lose their job, the landlord were harassing them. Many cases that came, and most of them are from the lowly paid salary from their employers. So that had really put them into life in a very, very difficult situation. So after 1 week of pandemic, we started receiving so many calls of, having assistance for rations, for this, for that. So we had a brainstorming discussion with my members of the fellow helping hand members. We started a control room called, food control room for Delhi and NCR. That is one. And we, in collaboration with the Delhi police, and so many NGO, what is called industrial house plus Samaritan from Delhi, they chip in, they donated essential commodities. We had two very good, I would say, well packing center in Delhi. We had 12 vehicles ready to dispatch every day, 2 vehicles for emergency vehicles for ration distributions. With this control room receive, the rations requirement from by SMS or by WhatsApp, and next day we go and distribute the rations to them. So our aim is that nobody from the Himalaya, from the hills, go hungry in Delhi and the city. That is one. Number two, what I did, another one is out of box again, connecting the dot. Since I belong to the IPS office, IPS fraternity, I did the training together with IAS and foreign service. So this connecting the dot is a system where I devised in such a way that all my batchmates from all over our India, I contacted them from each state, and I requested the most, I would say, empathetic officers to be the, I would say, a facilitator or a nodal officer for ration distribution of the Northeast people stranded in different parts of the country, be it Kashmir, be it Mumbai, be it Chennai, be it Jaipur, be it even in Uttarakhand. So that's how then we started, using the video conference every now and then. Then we had what is called online subscription, online request for the ration. So that also every morning we get a 2 lists we get every day. So for last 2 months, minutely we have been monitoring. We're 24/7. The control room is running. We have for Delhi and NCR as well as for all over the country. And so far, I'm very happy to tell you that we could reach out 1,72,000 all over the country, and 47,000 rations have been given in Delhi, NCR, and including from India, it's more than 97,000 rations have been distributed. Apart from ration, even we are collaborating with the Gurudwaras of the Delhi, who have been, preparing food for the students. And our criteria is very clear. Those who are in needy, we only distribute them. Apart from that, I want to tell you, young boys and girls, because you will get also idea. I hope in future, somewhere or other, you can experiment this also. We felt, apart from rations, there are many other issues have been were cropping up every now and then. One is racial discrimination. Second is harassment by the landlord. Third is even we had 2-3 cases of suicide by the Northeast boys and girls. One in Agra, another in 2-3, another in Bangalore, and even in Goa. So all these things have given us a challenge for the, distress counseling was required. So then apart from that, again, another issue came up is regarding medical consultations. Since now the whole medical fraternity is focused for that is COVID management. So many of the other ailments who were suffering were not getting the attention, nor they were able to go out because of the lockdown. So what we did, we had a team of counselors district councillors who were well-trained councillors from Delhi, from Gurgaon. We have a legal team who will be contacted by the victims, by any people from anywhere in the country, and we chip in through our what is called through our online, through our call them up, and we even serve a notice to all those landlord and the employers who were not paying the money or who were harassing the people from the hills. Then we have this 7 doctors divided into 2 groups for males and females. So they were the males. We had a fixed time for them. They have consultation with the video conference. They can consult if other than COVID, there are many other issues also. So that this emergency counseling helpline also really help us in a big way. And let me tell you, young friends, you all are listening to me patiently. I know government has been doing all way out whatever is possible, but we found that many of other people, you must be wondering why only notice, baki ko kyun nahi? Problem was that because people from hills, as I told you, they were working in an unorganized sector. In order to avail the rations of each state, they needed documents to avail the ration system of any state. Second, and even in Delhi and others, I try to get them to chip in through them, and most of them they do not have that document. So as a result, they've been left out. Then again, many states had a ration system, online system for those people who have got no documents. Fine, well, very good. There also, again, I had more than 20,000 people who were lining up. We tried to help them through our helpline. The waiting list was every day more than 11 to 12 lakhs. So you are behind them. So you can't go and wait for them. So that pushed us beyond the call of duty. We mobilized resources. And I'm very happy to tell you that now, even like Muthoot Finance, even like a Notice Council, many IS, IPS, many industrialists, many of them, they have donated rice, grease, that, all essential commodities. And I'm very happy to tell you that our policemen from Delhi, they volunteered, they went out and gave the rations. And this is and still we are distributing till today. We are the only NGO in Delhi which we have been what is called distributing rations. And we are really thankful. And I always say this word, look, there is a problem. But we have to take the problem by whatever, but headlong, or what is called crisis management. You can't run away. COVID aa to aa. You have to manage it. You have to fight out. You have to look out to our people. And of course, you must be, it is a question of vulnerable section. Why many people say, Robin, are you not a racist? You are only looking for a notice. And I tell them, look, even in your house, if there is one young boy or girl who is all the time little bit, not confident, who can't communicate properly, and who is a little bit hesitant, I think giving a helping hand to that most vulnerable young boy or girl is not that is in fact your moral duty. So why this problem is, why we are focusing this vulnerable section for the notice? One, most of our notice people, except for Arunachal, they cannot speak Hindi. They cannot speak Marathi. So in many of the country, the language problem. Second, our food habit is different. Even let me tell you, there are so many people they've offered us ki aap yahan se khana kha lo, wahan se kha lo. We have this kitchen, that kitchen. We were really thankful to them. We try to give them, especially those the student, a collection of food for twice a day. But our food habit is again different. Since most of you are from the mainland, you won't understand. We can't eat that masala food. Yeah, hum kha nahi sakte, yeah. So as a result, we had to, abandon that, availing that. Of course, we appreciate the gesture of the, people who are willing to give us a food. But those masala food and roti and all those things, our people are not habituated from the childhood, so they can't eat. So that has been ruled out. And I want to tell you one very, very live example. After knowing our problem, Gurudwara from the Mansurwar garden, they say, okay, Sardar ji ne sab apna kya tum jaisa aap log khate hain, wo sab bana denge. So I was so touched and glad. All those, 7 Sardarji youth came out and they cooked the food as per my direction, ki less oil, no masala, boil, and achar and whatever is it, rice, so on and so forth. So why I'm telling you that, look, young man, if there's a problem, and what is meaning of life? Life is, another name of life is a problem. So you need to have to, what is called innovativeness in order to sort out that problem. And I think reaching out the vulnerable, what you have said, I've spoken mostly about the Northeast. Apart from the Northeast, now what I did not only for the Northeast, let me now come to what I do. This NGO did for the what is called mainland migrant labor also. Even in my own way, I repeat, in my own way, 140 migrant laborers working in my Delhi police in my campus. I'm feeding them for last 2 months because I can't let them go out. It's in my small way. Number one. Number two, you know, we had reached out to the refugees of Burmese. United Nations Commissioner for High Commissioner for Refugee Officer, Mr. Cabin, reached me out. Sir, we have a people from the what is called Burmese who are there camp in Bikaspuri, Janakpuri, Burari, even in Rajouri Garden. So we are feeding them also for last 1 month. Apart from that, even we have reached out to the Tibetan refugees also. They are also in our care. Those who are in need of rations, we say, okay, we are also giving them also. And we are having a 2 emergency vehicle all the time fitted with a rations. And this only, not only for rations, if anybody, suppose sick man, we have carried 45 patients, though it is not much, even in the middle of the night or 2 and so on and so forth. And these emergency rations, they deliver even in the middle of the night. Somebody is sick, somebody is pregnant. So in that way, and now I'm very happy to tell you that now the transgender of Delhi has reached us out. They say, sir, since you all are giving, please needy deliver ration from tomorrow onward. They are also worse affected. And regarding rules, there is one to tell you that, look, whatever rules you may make, we may make, anywhere in the world, what is lacking is empathy, concern, उस दर्द को समझना. ये बहुत ही आज के समय में हम मतलब मुझे दिख रहा है, चाहे आप बिजनेस में हो, चाहे आप ब्यूरोक्रेसी में हो, चाहे जुडिशरी में हो, अगर आपके पास, if you have no empathy, if you have no sympathy, if you are only concerned for your own comfort zone, there lies our problem. There where you can chip in. There you can make a difference. I know as an additional DG, as a police officer, I cannot make the whole world a better place, but at least I could take care at least few thousands of people. At least I could feed 150 for 2 months. So I think this message of what you all are discussing at the end of the day should be always be aimed to the last main, what our Mahatma Gandhi, father of nation, has said. Whenever you are in doubt, whenever you want to do something good for the society, always remember the last man, the poorest farmer, the laborer working in that some unorganized sector. Will your step, will your decision, will your initiative help that helpless man who cannot do anything for you? And I think if you keep this thing in mind, and I always say this word, there lies the, I would say, the happiness of yourself or society, wherever you live, and you can make this world a better place to live. And I'm very honored to call today in your valedictory functions to be amidst with you. And I look forward to see all of you whenever you are in Delhi. And I from my side, I want to tell all of you, taking this opportunity, look, Desh, Samaj, Dunya, everything is in your mind. For that, you have to prepare yourself now. I tell this to every college and university wherever I'm invited, because I conduct a career guidance counseling in remote Bihar, in Arunachal, in remote Nagaland. I tell, look, if you have got hope, if you are willing to hard work, if you are willing to defy your gratifications, and I always make this fun. तुम अभी प्यार मोहब्बत हिंदी फिल्म देख देख के जो कर रहे हैं ना, वो अभी तुम्हारा बाज होने वाला नहीं है. दुनिया ऐसा नहीं चलता है. If you love somebody, would you not allow love to that कि जिसको तुम प्यार करते हैं, उस प्यार का निशानी को तुम भी उसको रोटी दे, कपड़ा दे, अच्छा स्कूल में जाएं. ये हमारा an obsession with this internet and social media. I say कि यार दुनिया, even I have two lovely daughters, they are black belt karate, and since most of you are girls, I tell them, look, even I tell my daughter, I say, you are second to none. For me, you are a boy and you are a girl, son and daughter. So I will empower you two things. One, I will empower you physically, very tough and fit. So I took 7 years every day. Whenever I get time, go with them to let them teach a martial art. Their hands were broken. They were beaten up with a lot of blood. I said, nothing doing. तभी तुम सीखेगा कि जिंदगी में क्या होता है. And today they are one of the youngest black belt before class 8 and 9. They started in learning at the age of 4. And now they have reached up to the national. They have won a lot of medals. They are getting scholarship from Delhi government, even from central government also. What I mean to say that I empower them physically, especially girls. अगर कभी आपको मौका मिले, I strongly pursuing this matter even to the earlier, Maneka Gandhi minister, and even still I'm pursuing. Even I told the president also, we must make martial art compulsory. First thing, physical fitness. Second, concentration. Third, unnecessary all those you will be focused in that one sport, either martial art or karate or boxing maybe. Second, I tell my daughter, especially for all of you also, education, good in study. Agar whatever world may say, whatever your papa may have money, anything, everything you may have, but if you do not achieve from your own achievement, you will never be happy. So first, stand on your own feet. I always say this word, पहले अपना राशन कार्ड तो ले लो, राशन कार्ड में educate yourself first. उसके बाद में जिंदगी में सोचो, ये प्यार मोहब्बत तो आते रहेंगे यार. If you are good girls, every guy will be after you. और in Valentine Day में तो खून लिख के मेरे बेटी को भी कितना 50 100 तो आ जाते हैं. I say this bloody bullshit. You forget about them. They, guys are like that. You don't let distract your mind. So why I'm telling you that? Look, you are youngsters. You have your friends. Spread positivity. This country is yours. This world is yours. You can make it a better place to live. If this boy whose father was a woodcutter, I had never privilege to go to any school or that school. I had only one teacher. I'm from Mahatma Gandhi Ashram School. From class 1 to class 8, only one teacher was there. Only class 9, we had a mathematics teacher, science teacher. Still, I couldn't. But 110% के जिनको चुना है, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, हम करेंगे. I think I can go on with this determination. Learn a lessons, be a role model. Role model doesn't mean only become like a Priyanka Chopra or like Alia Bhatt. No, I would love to see you as a, Hema Das, Mary Kom, whatever you do. Don't just say only becoming IAS, IPS and win gold medal. No, today India needs more industrialists, good journalists, good writer, good teacher, good medical practitioners, good entrepreneurship. So whatever you do, I tell my daughter, I'll never say to marry IPS, but no, तुम्हें जो पसंद है करो, लेकिन उसे किसी के कहने पे मत करो. अपना आत्मा से पूछो, अपना आत्मा से जागो कि पूछो कि क्या उस चीज में कि तुम रुचि रखता है कि नहीं रखता है. Are you really willing to love that job? For example, like I'm a badminton player. Still, I get up early in the morning to play 1.5 hours. अभी मैं अगला जन्म में मौका मिलता है, I love to be a badminton coach. So, identify your what you know. So once I would like to conclude this word. What Swami Vivekananda has said. बनो और बनाओ. तुम दुनिया को देखने से पहले खुद तो पहले चलना सीखो. खुद तो कुछ अपना आपको कुछ बनो. आपको क्या, all youngsters, you are smiling. आपको क्या अच्छा नहीं लगेगा कि आप 5 साल के बाद भी अपना पापा से पैसा मांगने जाएगा? Will you not feel shy to again ask? All your friends will be, कहाँ पहुंच जाएंगे? So you are in a golden period of your life. This is make or unmake in your life. Take it out, participate in this intellectual debate, contribute something, whatever you can do, take part, always spread happiness, wherever, learn some sports, and do something for your career, for your life. Then you will be worthy in your achievement in your life. And thank you so much for inviting me. And I must congratulate you. And I will be writing to all of you, to your organization also. And in future, whenever you are in Delhi, you are most welcome. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your outstanding words, for the encouragement, for the enthusiasm that you have built us for us, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We are honored. Eclectic team is honored to have you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request the Secretary General